If you're a married FERS employee, your survivor benefit election is one of the biggest one-time decisions you'll make with your pension. Once OPM finalizes it, changing it later is very limited and often not possible, so you want to slow down and see the real numbers before you check a box. So let me give you a real-world example, and I'll change the names around, but we'll call them John and Maria. John was about to retire under FERS with a pension estimate of roughly $3,000 per month gross, and his plan was to elect no survivor benefit. In his words, Maria has her own Social Security and they wanted the full pension now. Now, on paper, that sounded pretty reasonable. The problem was, when we put real numbers to it, the picture completely changed. So let us walk through the basic options using that $3,000 estimate. These are simple rounded numbers. Your exact numbers will of course be different, but this will give you a way to start thinking about it. So first, imagine John chooses the full survivor benefit. While he's alive, his own check might be reduced from about $3,000 down to about $2,700 per month. Now, if John dies first, Maria would then receive around $1,500 per month as a survivor benefit for the rest of her life. Now imagine he chooses no survivor benefit. While John is alive, he gets the full $3,000 per month. If he dies first, Maria gets zero from his first pension, and the income literally just stops. Now, think about that over time. If Maria lives another 10 to 15 years after John, that full survivor benefit of around $1,500 per month is worth roughly $150,000 to $200,000 of extra income over her lifetime, and that's before we even start talking about inflation. Now, on top of that, choosing the survivor benefit is often what helps keep FEHB coverage for the surviving spouse. That could be another very big dollar impact for the rest of her life. So here's where I see a lot of people make mistakes. First, they don't really understand the options: full survivor, partial survivor, or none at all. Second, they don't realize that choosing less than the full survivor benefit usually requires spousal consent that has to be signed and notarized correctly. So if you're married, your spouse is going to be part of this decision by design. The third mistake is they don't fully appreciate that once OPM finalizes your election, changing it later is very limited and in many cases impossible. This is not like changing a withholding option on a W-4 form. This is more like a one-way door. So here's my general rule of thumb. If you're married and relying on this pension as a core piece of your household income, you should at least run the numbers on the full and partial survivor options and see what it means in real dollars for the both of you. Sometimes a partial survivor benefit can make sense if you have other assets and insurance, and other times the full survivor benefit is simply the safer path. The key is, don't guess on this. This is why I always model survivor options with both spouses before anyone signs anything. Because on the form, there's only the check boxes, right? It doesn't show you the math, and seeing the math shows you the lifetime impact on your household, allowing you to make a more educated decision. If you're a federal employee within about 5 to 10 years of retirement, and you're not 100% sure when you can retire or what your real paycheck will be, I made something for you. It's called your Federal Retirement Readiness Blueprint Guide. It's a free step-by-step workbook that walks you through the 7 key steps: verifying your service time, estimating your net FERS pension, stacking your income from the pension, TSP, and Social Security, making sense of FEHB and Medicare, and checking the survivor picture for your spouse. If you set aside about an hour with this guide, a pen, and your statements, you'll have a much clearer idea of when you can retire and what your actual take-home paycheck will look like, rather than depending on just the gross numbers from an HR estimate. So here's what to do next. Click the link below this video and download the guide for free. You'll get instant access. And if, as you go through it, you decide you'd like help running your exact numbers, on that same page, you'll also see a spot to request a free federal retirement blueprint call with me. On that call, we'll put your first pension, TSP, Social Security, FEHB, and taxes onto one clear page so you can see if you're truly ready to retire and what your real paycheck will be. So start by grabbing the guide at the link below, and then if you want help applying it to your situation, request your blueprint call and we'll walk through it together.